Hello, 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 and welcome back to This Is Me Attitude Podcast with me, your one and only host, Rachel Nelson, just a girl in her 20s, trying to figure this crazy life out and bringing you along the way every single step of the way. And today is no different as I dive in to a brand new season of life. Yes, you are right. That is the first intro that I've used with my new last name. What is this? What is life? Oh my goodness. I have so much to talk to you about the wedding, so much to talk to you about feelings and emotions of the wedding, and this thing called post-wedding blues. First of all, when I first heard this phrase, I thought it was made up, and I was like, this is crazy. Why would you be sad after such a great and big thing? Why would you feel emotional after such a great and big thing? And oh boy, was I wrong. I have had a very interesting week looking back at my wedding. Now that when I'm recording this, it is a week has gone by since the day. And I thought that it would be good to have this podcast episode to just share with you the insights that I have and insights that maybe help you on your big day. If you are in the season of planning for your wedding, if you are in the season of newly engaged or about to get engaged, if you're not in that season, just kind of a disclaimer, this episode will not really pertain to you at all. And if you do not want to listen after this, I completely understand and have no hard feelings, as I know that not everyone is in the same season at the same time. And some seasons are triggering to others. I know for myself, it was not fun watching everyone else around me get engaged for the longest time, and I felt like it would take forever for me to get married, and now here I am on the other side of it. So it really is whatever your season is in, and like always, I like to bring you along the way in as much real time as I possibly can, with also sharing things that aren't going too deep into my personal life. And let's dive into today's topic that is all about post-wedding blues, what that is, what it looks like for me, how it has become an actual real thing for me, and moving forward with it. Okay, so to start things off, I first want to define what wedding blues the term is, and this is from the Knot website, which is a website that helps you plan your wedding, and it helped me a lot because it gives a very nice checklist. And how they describe it is happens when couples experience a period of letdown following the excitement of the wedding. Now that we have the definition, I want to first say that in my experience with my husband now, he is very excited that it's over. He was like, it was a stressful time for us to plan it. It was this and it was that. He was like, let's move on and let's go forward. Me, on the other hand, I am very excited that the planning is done, because I will be the first one to tell you that planning that big of an event is not for the lighthearted. And having every other person and their mother tell you their opinions when sometimes you don't ask for it is hard. And having all the different things that really people can tell you that it's going to come up for your wedding, but I truly don't think that you're going to fully feel it until it's your time. At least that was my experience. And yes, all of that happened beforehand, and yes, I was very stressed, and yes, there was points that I'm like, I don't want to plan it anymore, I'm done. But now that we're on the other side of it and went through our wedding day and had all of our friends and family in the area and had all of our friends and family there that day and the whole week of people coming in and being able to see them, I was on such a dopamine kick and high that I didn't even realize was a thing until afterwards. And now looking at this website and really researching what post-wedding blues that term is, and if that's what I am experiencing or not. Not to say that I am depressed and like not getting out of bed in the morning and things like that, because I have gone through my own seasons of depression, and I know that it's much different than that. But I also know that I've just been thinking about it and thinking about the day specifically and what happened and all of the good things that happened with it, and the fact that I had really good connections with so many different family members, newer family members and older family members, meaning like family members on my side and family members on his side. And I think that's why I have such release, and why this whole week I've been very tired. I've just been like, I just want to sleep because I don't want to do all the other things because I feel like I finally am able to catch up on sleep. And that is with the dopamine kick. I had such a high for such a long period of time, and now I'm coming off of that, and I really realized that that's such a huge thing. And if you have gone through that after a big event, even if it wasn't a wedding, you are not alone. And if you are in the season of planning your wedding and you're like, oh great, now I have stuff to look forward to be scared of after, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to show what has happened for me. And I'm a very emotional person as it is. So then having the heightened emotions of one of the biggest days of my life, and I also want to talk a little bit more about that later, but having that moment and then coming off of that has been a really big experience. Okay, so if you listen to my words very closely, I did not come on and say, my wedding day was the best day of my life, woo! I did that for a reason. I said that it was one of the best days because I do truly believe that it is one of the best days that I've had so far, and I do believe that if I were to say it's the best day ever and nothing is ever going to be better, then what else do I have to really go for? I know that God has put me on this earth for a reason, and yes, I don't know how many days I have left or anything like that, as does anybody else, but I do know that the days that I do have, He is going to make other ones maybe just as important or maybe not. I really don't know for sure because I don't know His full plan. And I feel like the wedding industry overall there's a lot of different things in it, but just having that day be so high and so up there could also be part of the reason why there is such thing called post-wedding blues, because now after you're just like, well, cool, the best day of my life is over. Like, what do I do now? And da-da-da-da-da. So there's that aspect of it. And with all of that being said, I did want to share 3 things that I am doing this week that have helped me just really process the day, process the whole experience of getting engaged, planning the wedding, having the wedding, because it is definitely a season of your life. And just like any other season in any aspect of your life, God is always there with you, and He wants to have conversations with you about this. With marriage specifically, since that's what we're talking about, He takes that very, 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 very seriously. There is the covenant with God and you and your significant other for a reason, for a purpose. With marriage being such an important thing biblically and in the world, and having big emotions and really having the dopamine kick, like I said earlier, I do fully believe that if you're going through the season of life, or if you're about to go through the season of life, that you need to bring God along with you, just like in any other aspect, but this even more in the fact that it's a brand new season. It's a brand new thing in your life. Being married for me is a new thing. Having my name be different is really a weird feeling, to be honest, and it's really cool, but it's also just like, oh my goodness, like I'm a new person now, in a kind of a weird way of saying it. But that means to have God with you. I have 3 things that I have been doing this week and that has helped and that I'm going to continue to do throughout the next probably few weeks. And I know I'll use it again and again. And those 3 things are to journal / write gratitude out, 2, pray about it because God always wants to have conversation with us, and 3, talk to your spouse about it. If you are in the same season I am and just recently got married and now feel like all of the excitement's over and now you're just like, well, what's next? Or the rush of it is all over, what's next? Talk to your new husband about it. Talk to a trusted friend about it. Talk to a therapist about it. Talk to whoever you need to really let this all out. If you are praying and you still feel like you need to get things out, just sit there and talk to God. He wants to listen to us. He wants to hear what's on our mind. And the trusted people in your life, I can guarantee you want to hear what's on your mind and what's going on with you as well. And getting their advice is very helpful a lot of times. And it can help you move through this season or move through this unknown week or these unknown few days, however long it is. And then going along with journaling and gratitude for myself, I try to write gratitude every single day. I have honestly not been very good about it this week, which as I'm talking about, this happening for me throughout this week is probably not the best way, but being honest and open. So I plan to go back and really just write out my entire experience for the day, just to have it all out there and on paper. One, I probably will never let anybody read it because that's my personal stuff, and if that's how you want to have your journal or writing out your experience in any big event or any big thing, that's totally fine too. So don't feel like you have to come on and share it to the world. And then the other thing is that it's out there. It's out on paper, so it's not just stuck in your brain anymore and going on loops and loops and loops. It's very helpful, as I have been a journaling person for a really long time in different aspects and experiences of my life. To wrap this episode up, the 3 things that I believe will help you in this season of life, as they've helped me, is to journal/write gratitude out. 2, pray and talk to God about the situation, as you should talk to him about everything. And 3, talk to your spouse about it. If you are in this season and you just married the love of your life, I am quite sure they want to hear about how you're feeling. So, again, 1, journal, write gratitude about it. 2, pray about it. 3, talk to your spouse. And that is the end of another amazing episode. Thank you so much for being here, as I took this episode a little off topic and talked about my personal life a little bit more. And I'm so thankful that I get to do that. I get to share my experiences. I get to share my walk with God. I get to talk about faith. I get to talk about the fact that I'm in a brand new season of life. And I truly, truly pray and hope that this just helps you and that you can share it with others that could help them as well. So like I say at the end of every single episode, never, ever, ever forget God loves you, and I'll see you in the next episode.